I'm reaching for that thumbnail. Quick thumbnail. That's the thumbnail right there. Hey, what's up, folks? Ike here, and it's time for another fragrance review. Today we're going to be looking at Mont Blanc Individual. It's been compared a lot to Joop, and I'm familiar with Joop, but Joop is a lot stronger than this, that's for sure. The performance of Joop is just like legendary, nuclear, one of the most potent performing colognes on the market. So it doesn't perform as strongly as Joop does, but it does smell like Joop. It's very floral and it's sweet, so it's like a fruity, floral sandalwood scent, and it's okay. The performance is just average. I didn't get really strikingly good performance out of this. I thought it was just average projection, average performance, average longevity. So it's not really a projection monster. The name Individual kind of implies that it's unique. Individual, like individuality. So it is unique in a sense where not a lot of people wear this. I mean, it's been compared a lot to Joop, and it's been compared a lot to Creed Original Santal. Santal means sandalwood. That's the translation. I can't comment on the Creed Original Santal comparison because I don't know enough about Original Santal to compare it. But on the internet, a lot of people say that this is very almost identical to Creed's Original Santal. You know, I wore it all day today, and the dry down, I get like a weird inky, like an ink kind of scent in the dry down, which is kind of ironic considering Mont Blanc is a pen company, and I think the dry down on this is a little inky. Maybe the people at Mont Blanc were like, hey, we're adding a sandalwood scent. What should we do? Let's just put some of our ink scent in there. But it does smell a little inky in the dry down. If you were to wear this today, you would stand out a little bit because it doesn't smell like Invictus. Nowadays, it seems like everything smells like Invictus. So that's the one thing that's got going for it. It's a fruity, sweet sandalwood scent that doesn't smell like Invictus. I would say you're going to stand out in a crowd if you wore this, but it's not potent and it doesn't project enough to really make you stand out. This smells like a weak version of Joop. Because I had a bottle of Joop, and I actually went through a whole bottle of it way back in the day. This Mont Blanc Individual smells like what Joop would smell like the next day. So it's like a lighter, I would say more tolerable version of Joop. Joop is an extremely strong performer, beast mode. It's just like a nasal rocket. This is a lot weaker than Joop, but it smells very similar to it. It almost smells like a watered down version of Joop to my nose, which is probably a good thing, because I think the problem with Joop is most people that wore it back in the day used to overspray. Like they would spray Joop like they were spraying their cool water or Acqua di Gio, and it would come across really strong. You know, if you sprayed like 5 sprays of Acqua di Gio, you'd be okay. But if 5 sprays of Joop and you're gonna like blast everybody out, and I think that's what gave Joop its really bad reputation of being an extremely cloying and extremely annoying cologne. This fragrance reminds me of a story. It's like a first grade reading level story. One of the first stories that you would read as soon as you learned how to read. Short story called Mexicali Soup. I'm paraphrasing the story, by the way. So it's like a Mexican family that moved to California, and they made a bunch of friends, and then they're like, you know what, we have a bunch of new friends. Let's invite everybody over for some of Mom's famous Mexicali soup. Apparently Mom makes a fantastic soup. It's called Mexicali soup. So they make plans to invite all the friends over one day to have some Mexicali soup. And the one kid says to the mother, says, hey, you know, my friend doesn't like spicy food. Can you make it without the hot peppers? And she's like, sure, no problem. And then the other child comes by and says, hey, you know, my friend doesn't like onions. Can you make it without the onions? And then the mother's like, sure, no problem. And the other friend comes by and says, can you make it without the garlic? Because my friend thinks garlic is stinky and we don't want to stink. Can you make it without the garlic? Sure. And another friend comes by and says, you know, my friend's allergic to tomatoes. Can you make it without the tomatoes? And the mother's like, sure. So anyway, they all gather around that day and they're going to have their soup with their friends. And it turns out what's there is just water. That's kind of what I see with this. I think they took Joop, because Joop was actually a pretty popular fragrance when it came out. It had a nice run where there were people that really liked Joop. And I think what Mont Blanc did was they took that DNA and they said, hey, you know, we're going to take this Joop DNA, and what we're going to do is we're going to strip all the stuff that people don't like about it, out of it and make it subdued and turned down, and what you have compared to Joop is just water. This is a $25 cologne. It's not very expensive. It smells nice. I personally don't love it. If I was searching for this scent, if I was searching for this DNA, I would go with the Joop instead of the Mont Blanc Individual. Just be extremely light with the sprayer. One spray of Joop equals about 5 sprays of this. So if you're going to work or you're going somewhere and you want to spray on some cologne, just make sure that you realize that Joop is an extremely powerful cologne that could be very cloying. So I would just say like a half spray here and a half spray there, and you're done with Joop, which would equal about 5 sprays of this. If you spray 2 sprays of Joop, it's like 10 sprays of Mont Blanc Individual, and then you've just oversprayed. So I personally would rather go with Joop, the real deal, the OG, than this Mont Blanc Individual, just because I think it's a better deal. They're about the same price. I think Joop is a better deal because you really only need 1 spray of Joop for your entire day, and you're good to go. You know, I would say if you already have Joop, I would say you wouldn't have to buy this. Maybe once in a blue moon, I would wear like a Joop style cologne or an individual style cologne. I never understood what the hype was about this. In my opinion, it's not a very hype-worthy cologne. Just my personal taste. I don't love this scent DNA. I don't love Mont Blanc Individual. I don't love Joop. If I don't love Mont Blanc Individual, I'm not going to love Creed Original Santal, so I won't even consider buying that. I mean, it's a good cologne, and I think it has its place. I think in a nice, cool fall setting, it could work very well in the cool weather. You know, you want to think that it's maybe a little more refined version of Joop, but I think it's just a weaker version of Joop. You know, apparently there are people out there that love this scent. Just like any scent, everybody has their own opinion. It has the uniqueness factor because there aren't a lot of people wearing Mont Blanc Individual. There's not a lot of people wearing Original Santal, and a lot of people don't wear Joop anymore. So if you wear this kind of cologne, like this scent DNA, the sweet floral sandalwood scent, I'd like to call it, you're definitely going to stand out from the crowd. It's a different scent than what's popular today. If you want to project like a son of a gun, go with like 3 sprays of Joop and you'll be like chilling. I would say go with the Joop and spray it lightly and respect the beast. Respect it. And you could do a lot better than this Mont Blanc Individual. Respect the beast. Thank you for watching. I'll smell you later.